What is up, y'all? It's your girl Brand New, and I'm back in a motherfucking building. This time I am back because I want to talk about, y'all know, Gregory Lunceford, Quad's soon-to-be ex-husband from Married to Medicine. He did an interview over at B103 sometime last week. Now they have the Mistress, the girl that he was supposedly messing with. She did an interview over at B103, and I would like to talk about it really quick.
What happened?
I met him after the club, and we all decided to go to a restaurant called R. Thomas. And when I was at the restaurant, I asked him, that was one of the first questions I asked him. I said, "Are you married?" He said no. And my homegirl didn't know his friend was married either. So that was a complete lie.
So was he not wearing a wedding band?
No, neither of them. Neither.
And you didn't know who he was?
No, I never watched the show. I didn't know who he was.
Okay.
Yeah.
He goes on, and then he says this.
And so it wasn't that night. It was the next night when they were like, "Oh, do you want to come back out?" And I'm like, "No, I'm in bed." But they talked me into coming back out. So I went to his hotel where he and the two girls were met us, and we went out again to another spot, and we were out kicking it. And so then to finish the night off, we went back to his hotel, laughing, talking, da-da-da. And I got super stupid, thought I was somebody I wasn't. I had a cape on. I was about to fly. I was about to be super player. And then when I got up there, I was like, let's go back to Clark Kent.
Dr. G, wow. You was too excited to get you some cootie cat honey since your wife wasn't giving you none. You figured you would. I really do see him trying to have sex with this girl, because you got to keep in mind, Quad was not having sex with him. And I'm not at all saying that, it's okay for him to cheat on his wife. But at the same time, why is Quad even shocked about this? I don't feel like she should be. I think that this helps her to put all the guilt and blame on him. Oh, he's cheating and you wasn't sleeping with him. He said y'all hadn't had sex for a while. That's not a marriage. That's not okay. Why did neither one of you leave each other? Like, who the fuck does that? But yeah, don't sit up there thinking you with some man and you withholding sex and, and I get it. If she didn't want to have sex with him, that's fine. But leave the marriage. Do not go years without having sex with somebody and think they're going to be faithful. And, oh, well, you my husband and you supposed to be faithful. Oh, you my wife. People have needs, okay? Get to meeting the motherfucking needs or get a divorce. It's that simple. I don't know why it took them so long. So let's check out what she's saying.
I was like, no, let's not do this. This isn't us.
Second night happened?
Second night happened.
So what happened the second night?
After we left the club, we went back. He asked me, did I want to go to the hotel? I said, sure. And we get in the room, and foreplay is happening.
No, how did you get to the hotel room? Was the room already purchased, or y'all went to the front desk?
No, he went to the front desk and got the room.
And you went up to the room?
Yes.
And then what happened?
And then, talking, kissing, foreplay, oral sex. And then he proceeds to get on top of me without a condom. And I said, no, where's your condom? And he said, I don't have one. Again.
You didn't have any protection with the oral sex, bitch. You could still get all types of STDs through oral sex that can be permanent. So for you to, oh, he didn't have a condom, that don't make any sense. You could still get STDs through oral sex. You didn't have any, what do they use? Dental dam, any kind of barrier. You didn't use protection for that. So she's ignorant.
Proceeds to get on me, put it in without a condom. I said, no, you have to get a condom. And then he said, let me text my friend and ask him, does he have a condom? His friend replied, no. So I said, can you run down the street to the store and get a condom? He said, yes. 10, 15 minutes after he left, he texted me and said, you know what, I'm just going to go home. You enjoy the room, and I'll see you another day.
Wanda?
I'm just listening, he came in and act like none of this stuff took place. Okay, so let me back up a little bit. You say you didn't know anything about the show.
No, I never
You
watched
never
the
heard
show.
of Married to Medicine?
I've heard of it, but I never watched it.
You've heard of the show, but you've never watched it. She would have been better off saying, no, I only watch, Real Housewives of Atlanta. But there are some people, though. There are some people that have heard of Married to Medicine. They don't watch, they don't engage. But she's suspect to me.
Your posse didn't say, girl, that's Greg from Married to Medicine. You knew.
No. Me and my other friend, we knew he looked familiar, but we didn't know where we knew him from.
We knew he looked familiar. There's the lie. We knew he looked familiar. So if you don't watch the show, you've heard of the show. And if I've heard of a show, then I don't know how anybody looks. So how the fuck can a person look familiar and you don't watch the show? You don't know how anybody looks. Somebody is lying.
Well, she didn't watch the show either.
But y'all nothing.
I didn't know he was
Quad,
a doctor. I didn't know nothing about Quad. I don't watch the show at all.
He goes on to say in our interview with him, this is what he says. You're telling me, as a man, here's a guy, you haven't had sex with your wife in years. You go back a second time to see this girl. You're in a hotel room. You go and get the room. You take her up to the room, and then you caught your senses and said no?
Yeah, I mean, Frank, I caught my senses.
Oh, you cut it off.
That's it?
I said you cut it off?
I cut it off?
Yeah.
No, that's what he said in the interview.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to finish what he said.
No.
Okay.
So that didn't happen.
No. He didn't have a condom. He wanted to have unprotected sex with me. And it wasn't going his way, so he wanted to go home.
Let me ask you this. Did you guys see each other anytime after that, or that was it? That was
it. I've seen him out and about in Buckhead since this happened. He saw me, looked me right in the eyes, never, pulled me to the side and said nothing, but I haven't talked to him since.
Okay, so here's the $1 million question that we got to ask you. So if that's the way it happened, that he tried to have sex and then he went home, if that is the way it happened, how are you now? How did your name ever come up or get into the news? Don't answer that yet. Okay. We're going to take a break, come back. I want to know, because they're saying that you tried to, get money out of him.
A room. Like I said, we were kissing, oral sex happened, and he tried to have unprotected sex with me.
Now, somewhere after he left, and you said he called you back after he left.
Yes.
And what did he say when he called you back? Because he left because he didn't have a condom.
Yes, and I thought he was going to get one. And he texted me and said, you just enjoy the room, and I'm going to see you another day.
So how did it come to pass that you asked him for money?
That's not true.
Okay.
That's not true.
Okay, so you guys pretty much get the gist of that. She was the girl that they was saying that was trying to extort him and get money out of it. I don't really know if that's true. She's denying it, but this sounds very believable. She says something, though, that really verifies the situation with him and Quad as far as money. And this is probably how he got with Quad. What this young lady says is very interesting. Let's take a look at what she's saying. Let's listen to it.
You really did like him.
Not really liked him, but I thought he was, cool enough to hang out with. He was nice.
You did an interview, and in your interview, and this is I guess part of the problem. In your interview that you did, you said that he told you he likes to spoil women.
Yes.
And what did he say?
Way?
He was just insinuating that he likes to, whoever he talks to, he'll take care of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then,
isn't that very interesting? Can't we picture Quad that didn't have the money, didn't have all the connections? Yes, she had Mariah, but can't we picture homely Quad from back then being taken aback by somebody like Dr. G that's willing to pay her bills and, willing to do this. He's willing to buy her these, name brand handbags and, all the shit that she wanted. I've been taking care of you since the day I met you. when he said that to her, I don't know, that stuck with me because that's what he felt in his heart. You know, when you're speaking with people, you either saying the words that's coming to your mind or you speak it from your heart. That was in Dr. G's heart to let her know that I've been taking care of you. I've been doing this for you. He's that type of man. He's that type of man because look at what she's saying. And I believe it. His actions line up with what she's saying. We ain't even got to figure out if that part is true. Some of the shit she said is questionable, but that is very true about him. Wanting to take care of somebody and somebody depending on him. And, you know, he's basically prostituting himself. Trying to buy women. Trying to buy love. And you can't. You can't. People either love you or they don't. And Dr. G is not the only one that does this. A lot of men do this. They know they don't have much to offer. You know, they don't have that much confidence within themselves, so they settle in these type of situations.
We went to the hotel room. Like I said, we were kissing, oral sex happened, and he tried to have unprotected sex with me.
Now, somewhere after he left, and
Yes.
you said he called you back after he left.
Yes.
And what did he say when he called you back? Because he left because he didn't have a condom.
Yes, and I thought he was going to get one. And he texted me and said, you just enjoy the room, and I'm going to see you another day.
So
I believe that happened because that's what he said. You know, he came to his senses. Of course, he lied and embellished. Both of them are lying. I can tell that much. I do believe nothing really happened except for what she's saying, the kissing and the oral sex. He completely left that out, you know.
how did it come to pass that you asked him for money?
That's not true.
Okay.
That's not true.
So how did your name even get mixed up in all this?
Well, the next morning, the bill came under the door, and I found out his last name.
Wow.
And I Googled him. That's how I found out who he was. Never knew he was a doctor, never knew he was on a show. I saw all that when I Googled him.
So did he tell you who he was before you went up to the room?
No, he just said his name was Gregory. He didn't say no occupation, none of that.
So you was just hanging out with
Yeah.
a guy named Gregory?
Yeah.
So the next day when you wake up, you see it's Gregory Lunceford, so you Google
Yes.
him the next day?
Yes.
Not the first day before you had sex. Like
He
you didn't
tell me
care
his
who it
last
was the
name was
first day.
Lunceford.
But you see how that sounds, right?
Yeah.
You take a guy to the room, you have no idea who he is. You're having
You're having
unprotected
sex
oral
with
sex
him.
with him, and you don't even know who he is. But you came to
Yeah.
your senses afterwards and then Googled his name.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so you Googled his name, found out who he was. And then what happened?
Is he?
I saw he was married. I was disgusted. How are you trying to have unprotected sex with me the night before, and you're going to leave me and go home to your wife?
Okay.
And
So then what did you do?
I got on, I found his wife's Instagram. I got on her Instagram and I told her what had happened.
Why did you do that?
Because it's disgusting to me to, even though I made a decision to possibly have a one-night stand with somebody, this guy was going to try to have unprotected sex with me and go home to his wife. I feel like she should know. If I was a married woman, I would want some little chick to reach out to me and tell me what my husband's doing. So that's that.
Okay.
That's what I want to know. A lot of people, when they hear his voice, they come to conclusions about, they think he's living a certain lifestyle. When you heard his voice, that didn't do anything to you?
But no, I thought he was just a little nerdy little guy that I was hooked up with.
Exactly. He's just nerdy. I don't know why whoever that was went there with it. I hate when people switch off of that. This is what I believe would happen. Because she's saying she never asked for any money, this, that, and the third. I believe she asked for money, figured out who he was and that he had money, tried to get money. Then when he refused to give her money, she then contacted Quad and told Quad everything. I do not believe that she felt bad because, let's face it, a lot of these bitches will fuck your man and not even care. They'll know he's your man. She claimed she didn't know, and they're in Atlanta, and she wanted to give, her a heads up because they got one of the highest HIV rates. So it really does not make any sense. I feel like she didn't get what she wanted, and she's not saying that. And then she wanted to contact Quad. And on top of that, Quad is not innocent in this either, because like I said before, and I will stick with it, I believe Quad was with Dr. G for a come up, and I'm sticking right by that. All right, you guys, that's all I have to say on that. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. I will talk to you guys later.